Well, obviously, University of Houston, we're proud to be over here representing our university. Looking forward to a great weekend of baseball. For me personally, this is my fourth time to play in a super regional here in Austin, so I know it's going to be a great atmosphere. The Texas fans will show out in full force, and I think we'll have a great crowd of Cougars over here as well. But it's always fun to come play at Dish Falk and come to Austin, and we're looking forward to a great weekend.
Todd, is it fair to say that what you guys have gone through the last 4 weeks now, 5 playing away from home, that you pretty much have seen everything that you're going to see as far as venue and
Sure.
being overwhelmed?
Well, I'd like to think it's going to help us. You know, we've literally had enough time in the last 4 weekends to go home and wash our laundry and jump back on a bus. So, you know, past never equals the future. We'll see if it was good for us to be on the road that long, but I definitely think it can't hurt. I mean, part of our routine right now is being packed up and being on the road and staying in hotels. And they don't play Omaha at home, so, you know, hopefully it's good for us.
Todd, you said you've played here before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this stadium has a tendency to play big.
Sure.
Your pitching staff hasn't walked a lot of guys like you. Do you think that could be an even bigger strength where the ball just doesn't jump out of the yard as much?
It tends to not be a real offensive ballpark. You know, it's a big field. Wind typically will blow in from what I can remember, and the turf doesn't play real quick. So, you know, runs are a premium. You know, throwing strikes is a premium. You know, it's going to be one of those things where, you know, possibly the team that makes the least amount of mistakes could win the series.
Todd, how much does it help that you played this team 3 months ago?
That seems like an eternity. We've played so many games and been so many places since then that I really don't think it's relevant. I mean, I know, you know, our team, you know, there's no unknowns. You know, a lot of our players have played with their players, so, you know, they're not unfamiliar to us at all.
Todd, what's been the strength that Frank's brought to the pitching staff, and how soon do you think you might be a head coach again?
Well, I think, you know, I've known Frank for a long time, and I've always thought he was the best pitching coach in the country, and we're really fortunate to have him at the University of Houston. I thought whenever he did decide to come on board with us 2 summers ago, it's like getting a first-round draft pick to come to school. You know, it's that big a deal. And just because the experience he brings, the wisdom he brings, I think with the pitchers individually, you know, I think they trust him. They know his track record. They know that he's had success everywhere he's been. So complete trust in his teaching has been a big key for us. And, you know, for me, this is my 4th year as a head coach. He's been a tremendous mentor to me, you know, not just on the field, but, you know, things that go on off the field and all the things that come up with running a program. You know, he's been a good sounding board for me personally, and I've thoroughly enjoyed having him in Houston.
When did you know you had something special this year, and how did you know it?
Really, I had a really good feeling about this team in the fall. You know, we returned a ton of players off last year's team. We won 36 games last year. Felt like we were an NCAA worthy team. You know, probably needed to win 1 more game, but we returned everybody. And one of our best players, Casey Grayson, missed the entire season last year with an ACL injury. So had we had him, you're talking about a team that probably may have had 2 years of postseason experience. But, you know, what's a negative then turned into a positive for this season. We started up to 7 freshmen last year. Those guys are all back. We have Casey back hitting the middle of the order, and you know it's been a team that, you know, things have just kind of seemed to work out for them.
Casey, what are the last 4, now 5 weeks been like for you guys as a team, being on the road, and how have you guys kind of managed everything?
I mean, it's been fun, but at the same time, it's been kind of, you know, it's been tiring. You know, we gotta get our rest when we need it, and you know, but like I said, when you go in places like LSU, you know, the environment, everything, it's, you know, it's fun to be around that. But at the same time, it's been long. It's been, you know, like I said, tiring, and you just, you know, you got to get your rest when you need it. So I mean, but we're ready for another weekend, and hopefully 2 weekends on the road, and see what we can do with it.
Does that prepare you in any way for being on the road this weekend instead of playing at home?
I mean, you can't. I guess you could say that. I mean, we're used to it. So I mean, but it'd be nice to play at home every once in a while.
Guys, we talk about how the way that Monday's game went, you know, you guys get hot and just, you know, kind of run them off the field. Then you find out that you're not going to play at home. You have to come here. Just can you talk about what's the mood in the locker room after coming out of all that momentum of Baton Rouge? And
well, we're really excited to still be playing. That's for sure. I think you know, having to beat LSU twice, I don't think a lot of people really gave us a chance, especially in Alex Box Stadium. So to go in there, you know, we won on Sunday night in extra innings, and then we came back on Monday and were able to beat them again. So you know, we're so long for the ride right now. You know, we're enjoying playing in the postseason, and I mean, we wanted to play at home, obviously, but you know, when we didn't get that, you know, we thought we may have a chance to host a regional, and you know, that didn't happen. So you know, you can't really get down on yourselves. You know, it's postseason baseball, so we're really excited to still be playing, and we're excited to be in Austin.
Caleb, just 2 years ago, this team was a 18-win team. Last year was one of the youngest teams in the nation. Just those gradual steps, big giants that you've taken. What's that been like to see the transformation of the program from there to now?
Well, obviously, it's been a great turnaround, and guys like myself, I was a junior college guy, so last year was my first year here, but, guy to my right, Chase Welbrock and Landon Appling have been here for 4 years, so, they've endured the suffering, so, they're reaping the benefits of that right now. They've stuck around, they've trusted the program, they've trusted in coach, and they've trusted the process that's gotten us here, and we're really enjoying it.
Chase, maybe can you talk about that? Just, everybody thinks of Houston baseball, they think of Rice, because they've done so well. What is it like to finally, yes, y'all are on the road, but y'all the ones in the Super Regional, they're not.
Right. Well, it's a good feeling knowing that Rice is out of the spotlight and we're in it, but we don't really look too far into it. We're excited to play baseball. I know when I was committing to go to U of H, I wanted to join a team to kind of build their program. And that was my main goal. And seeing this transformation, what was it, my sophomore year when we had 18 wins, and then to now, it's a giant turnaround. It's great to see this program back in the right direction.
Chief, not to look ahead, but it's each step you take, you're going to that next goal. Obviously, Omaha is the next step. With it so close there, and knowing that this program hasn't been there since '67, what does that mean that you're on the doorstep and you take care of business this weekend? You're there.
Well, that means we're doing things right. That was our goal back in the fall. That was what we wanted to meet. That was what we wanted to reach. But we're not done yet. We've still got a huge task at hand with UT this weekend, so we can't look too far into it. We'll just take it one game at a time.
Todd, are these teams as similar as they are on paper? Score a lot of late runs, close games, pitch well, play.
They really are. You could take the uniforms, you could switch the uniforms out and have the same team. They both pitch well, play good defense, timely hitting. Texas plays with a lot of energy, as we do. So, it ought to be a great weekend. They're very evenly matched teams, I think, as any of the super regionals that are going on this week.
Todd, you called this team not one that has a lot of stars, but
Right.
more of a solid, gritty, top to bottom. Just along those lines, you've done some things with the center field this year with Appling, and you've had Fulmer in there. Just that kind of epitomizes what you guys can do there. And
Sure.
DH. Can you just kind of talk about that mentality?
Well, the one thing that I do appreciate about this bunch is it's a great team, and the reason it's a great team, a lot of the reason is these three guys sitting right here beside me. They're the ones that make sure that happens. But we do have some interchangeable parts. We have good players, but last time I checked, we don't have anybody getting drafted tonight in the draft. It's a bunch of good, gritty ball players who, they have a tremendous will to win, and I've said that about them all year long. And they understand their roles. Nobody's happy about sitting on the bench. We've had some really good players this year who have sat on the bench at different times, but they know for the good of the team that's what they need to do on that certain day. And on our bench right now, everybody on there has contributed to a win in some way this year. Every single guy that sits on our bench has helped us to win a game. So they know to be ready and that the bell could toll for them at any time.
Just like every, you said, I know you've been here a lot, but their team, just like every year, their offensive stats aren't as good at home as they are on the road.
Right.
This park has always played big for every team every year.
Right.
Team. When you look at it and think about it, why do you think that is?
Why is it a tough place for offense?
Yeah, why is this a tough place for offense?
Well, it's, the fences are obviously deep, and the wind has something to do with it as well. The experience I have, we have a turf field, a field turf field at our place, and I know Coach Carrito likes for his turf to play slow. And it's a slower turf than we have, and I haven't been out there yet today, but I think around the base is a little higher cut than on the actual green part of the infield. So it's one it's built for pitching and defense, and every coach has their style and the way they like to play, and I think that's Coach Carrito's MO is he likes to play for pitching and defense, and he has a stadium that sets up well for that.
Caleb and Casey, could you address the spacious field too? Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, that's something that obviously we can't control. I think as a team, Casey leads our team in home runs, but I don't think we're a really powerful bunch that looks to hit the ball out of the yard. So I think this almost kind of plays into our hands. We try to stay short and compact with our swings. work to the middle of the field. I think we do have some speed, so that the big gaps, if you run one in there, can hit some doubles and some triples in this park. So, I don't see it as a disadvantage for us. I think it's something that can really help with our approach.
And Casey?
I agree with everything you said. At times we like to play small ball. You get the leadoff guy on. You can bunt him over and knock scores him. Or at the same time we can hit the gaps and doubles and triples and get them in that way. So the spacious park. You can look at it in a negative way, but at the same time it could be a positive at the same time. It just works into our hand sometimes, and other times it doesn't, I guess.
Chase, you pitching staff, and everybody got a ERA like 2. What's up with that?
Well, it's been special. I don't know if it's really luck or anything. I think it's more of our mindset and it's our determination that helps us go out there, and that I think that's why we're successful. And again, a lot of it has to do with Coach Anderson. He's been a big part of that. I think he manages the pitching staff really well, as kind of the rest of the team a little bit. But he keeps us focused, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
What separates him from other pitching coaches? How is he different?
Well, for being an older guy, he's still kind of a player's coach. He's really fun. Kind of any time around the field, before practice or before a game, he'll go out there and he'll just talk with you. He'll joke around with you a little bit, and I think that he keeps us relaxed. I think that's a big part of it.
We didn't talk any smack, does he?
Oh, all the time.
You didn't talk to any this week, has he?
I haven't been around him enough this week just yet, but I'm sure I'm about to hear some later on.
His volatile side?
His what?
His volatile side, his emotional side. Is that out very much?
Doesn't come out too often, but when it does, it's kind of special. You gotta pay attention to it.
What ticks him off?
Well, giving up runs, definitely. Pitchers not going out there to do their job. Other than that, I'm not really too sure.
Anything about his methods that are different from other pitching coaches you've been with?
Well, I think he summed it up pretty good. He is a player's coach, and that's one thing that I know about Coach Anderson. He loves being around the kids. He told me when he took the job that he really wanted to get back to being on the road recruiting and being around kids and coaching them up, and that's been pretty much how he's been since day one. And I know he's been a tremendous assistant coach and a huge value to our program.
What's your rotation look like?
I have no idea yet.
Does he do it? Does he have autonomy or?
Yeah, I got to talk to Frank.
Be happy to.
Yeah.
Chase, kind of back on Frank here, stresses the no walks, kind of attack the zone, but your numbers, I think only had like 110 walks as a staff this year and almost leads the nation. What's that? What advantage obviously does that give you guys? So when you don't put guys on base, you're not in that situation where you're always having to get out of jams.
Well, it's a huge advantage. That's kind of what we aim for. We don't like to give guys free passes, and it helps these guys like Casey and Caleb over here out. They don't have to fight from behind all the time. So when we don't let guys on, we don't walk guys. It kind of builds our own momentum to take it back in the dugout and put it toward offense.
Caleb, having seen this team earlier this season, does that add anything or change anything for this series?
I don't think so. Like Coach said, it seemed like it was forever ago that we played Texas, and in the postseason now, I think both teams have shown that they've improved a lot. To get here, it's not easy to play in a super regional. So I think that was the very beginning of March. So I think the teams have improved a lot, and I don't think it'll be a huge advantage for us or them. Seeing us earlier in the season.
Casey, what are your impressions of Texas?
It's the University of Texas. That's what when people think of college baseball in Texas, that's what they think of. So our goal is coming here and get 2 wins. That's all we need to do.
One last question.
Do you feel like y'all have the underdog mentality, or do you feel like it's just an even field?
I mean, I think it's pretty even. I mean, obviously, I think because of their history and you know, especially Coach Carrito, you know, leading the way, the all-time winningest coach in college baseball, that, you know, I think some of the experts will probably tilt it towards them a little bit. But, you know, the past never equals the future in this game, and you don't. Who knows what's going to happen this weekend? It's two really good teams going after each other. It's going to be a great weekend of college baseball. It's great for both university communities. It's an exciting time, and we're absolutely thrilled to be playing.